Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. In today's video I'm going to have a look at the conflict in the Tsushima Strait. Yeah, there we go. This is one of the Naval Academy missions that was introduced in Alpha 9, and you have to unlock quite a few of the missions in order to get here. The Russian fleet seeks to engage us near the Tsushima Strait, so we're Japan. They possess a large number of battleships that we are not able to match in numbers. Most of them, however, are outdated and slow. Our fleet has a significant number of cruisers and torpedoboats. You must wisely allocate your funds in order to reinforce our fleet with some strong battleships or build more numerous small ships. Your decision will greatly impact the tactics that will be needed in order to defeat our foe. Well, I have been known to build battleships with tons of torpedo launchers and basically ram them into the enemy. Your mission will not be simple, as we cannot afford great losses. Well, we must destroy a large proportion of the Russian ships to claim victory. Shouldn't be too hard, should it? Send in the Kamchatka, let it do its own its own little thing, and let the Russian fleet either self-destruct or fight off, well, Japanese torpedo boats, I guess, in case they turn out to be fishermen. Anyway, I can build battleships, heavy cruisers, light cruisers, or torpedo boats. And I indeed believe that this is going to have a massive impact on the way that this fight will be done. I do get a lot of other ships. 2 heavy cruisers, 4 light cruisers, and 5 torpedo boats. But considering that I have 2 separate heavy cruisers, these are 2 separate classes. But the same can be said for the Russian fleet. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different battleships. 4 light cruisers of one class, that is, 3 light cruisers of another, and 4 torpedo boats. I need to sink 70% of the enemy. That is going to take quite a bit of effort. I can keep 35% of my allies alive. Now, allies basically means your whole fleet. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have an ally. There are numerous different ways that you can go about with this mission. You can get... you know what? Let's just start designing. This is the battleship that we can pick, the battleship 1 and 2. We have the armored cruiser. This is what they call the heavy cruiser in the mission selector. The light cruiser and the torpedo boat destroyer. But just look at how much is locked here. There's nothing available for the torpedo boat destroyer. I think it's going to be fun for the Kamchatka to finally be right. To finally actually come into contact with the torpedo boats that it was so afraid of. So what I'm going to try and do is swarm tactics. This is going to involve quite a lot of small boats which do torpedo attacks. I already have 5 from the fleet. This means that I'll have another 15, but that's the max. So I can still spend some. And make sure that I reduce that number a little, otherwise it's probably going to be utterly unmanageable. The thing is, I have a budget of 26 million. And if I'm only building 15 boats worth 1.1 million, I'm basically losing out. So we're going to upsize this destroyer. Sorry, torpedo boat destroyer, technically. I'm not sure if it's a torpedo boat or a destroyer. It's either a very heavy torpedo boat or a really light destroyer. I think it's sort of on the cusp of both. Now, bulkheads. I'm not even sure if these things have time to close the bulkheads, or at least the waterproof doors, in case I add many to them. But considering my budget, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I could speed them up a little more. Maybe just stick them at 30 knots. I don't believe you can put any armor on these things, can you? No, nothing. Lovely. Then, more torpedo tubes. If I can mount torpedoes on port and starboard, that will allow me to do torpedo runs against a larger formation and just use port and starboard torpedo tubes to go at it. So I could do very much knife fighting style and just throw torpedo after torpedo after torpedo at them. They have a reload, of 262 seconds? Are you having a laugh? That's one torpedo tube. This is 19 inch at 2747, 18 inch at 19. Okay, let's go with 19 inch torpedoes. This is apparently too heavy, and for propulsion they only do 29 knots. Which means that if I play it wrong, I can run into my own torpedoes. That's no joke. I can launch a torpedo, make a hard course correction, slow down just a touch from my 30 knots, and I might actually be able to torp myself. So that's a bit of a risk. Torpedo range 1.5. If you go for fast, that's probably going to drop to, yeah, just the 1. It does make the torpedoes a lot faster though, 38.5. So I think that's a bit safer. Now, where can I fix my weight offset? These torpedo tubes only weigh 30 tons. I think the funnel system... Yeah, the funnel system helps a bit. If I shift that around. Or, no, hold on, does it? What if I just shift these torpedo tubes back? So, a couple in front, and a couple on the stern. That's too much aft weight offset. There. Perfect. Now, one more thing that I would like to add to this ship is a small gun to limit the field of fire of the torpedo tube intentionally, so that this thing doesn't fire too far forward. The reason for that is that I want to try and engage a target with these tubes, and then potentially a different target with the other tube. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but here goes. So these things can fire in about 135 degree forward / slightly aft. These things can fire slightly forward and everything aft. I will now build 14 torpedo boats. And I still have a small aft weight offset. Oh, come on, game. Don't be like that. I want to get rid of that 1.2. Oh, I would have to put them all the way over here. Okay, that's fine. So, there, but slightly back. Relocate that 2-incher. 2 inches are only 3 tons. I'm not getting these things for the gunpowder, but you probably already gathered that much. Because that... that's not really what they're good for. 165 damage. That's about as far as you're going to go. I'm not going to no, I'm not going to improve the reload on them. I don't think that's worthy. The torpedo launchers get 3 torpedoes per launcher. And since they're all the same, I can freely distribute the torpedoes across the ship. If I were to go more... the ship's way too heavy for that. Or rather, the ship would get way too heavy by doing that. Engine efficiency... 69. Nice. What else do I need? If anything. Probably nothing. Well, I could up the reload. I mean, I might as well, since I have a bit of tonnage available. And I think that's about it. Okay, so I'm building 14 torpedo boats, which will stack with the already 5 existing torpedo boats, although they are of different classes. This is going to be formation nightmare. Right, what this comes down to is that the enemy has 17 ships. I have more. I have 25. Doesn't mean my survivability is that much greater, because if a battleship so much looks at a torpedo boat funny, the torpedo boat has a really good chance to just flat out die. And then there are a bunch of light cruisers, which will make my life very difficult. So if this is the most efficient setup, probably not, but it'll most likely be the most fun one. The way that I plan to do this battle is to have the heavy cruisers engage the lights engage the torpedo boats, and my torpedo boats engage their battleships. At the same time, I have a risk that their torpedo boats are going to try and torpedo my heavy cruisers, And with my level of macro management, there is a very high likelihood that torpedo boats will torpedo my torpedo boats. Let's see what I can make work. Enemy spotted to north. We have 6 hours. I don't know what the starting range is, but at least I can figure out what my ships are. I have the Yoko and the Takari heavy cruisers. Maximum bulkheads. That's a really good start. 8-inch guns. Mark IIs. Quite a nice amount of Mark IV casemate guns. A couple of 2-inch guns. Some more 2-inch. And even torpedo tubes in the bow and the stern of 19-inch. I quite like this design. So probably the light cruisers are shit. No, not yet. 6-inch guns all over the place. Mark II's reload is not great. But they have a minus 30% reload. So they're either got a good loader system or they're using light shells. Light shells. And enhanced reloading. That does mean that they might really suit my role of taking out torpedo boats. I hope so anyway. And then there is the utter mess of torpedo boats. This is not one of my designs, I think. No, actually it is. I put a 3-inch on the bow, a couple of 2-inches everywhere, and some torpedo tubes. Alright. Let's see what the outer group is. That's Div 3. Alright, congratulations. Hozu, you are now going to be joining Div 3. So that is this group. The enemy is to the north. So these are most likely to engage it first. The real question is, do I want them to engage first? There is something to be said for both points. I could push in with the heavies and the lights first, wipe out the majority of the threats to the torpedo boats, and then have the torpedo boats rush the battleships. But they have 6 battleships. If the battleships kill off my cruisers, then the torpedo boats are going to have to rush in anyway. And I happen to have a good number of these things. Alright, this is the Hitonose. And its formation is spread out all over the place. No. Detach. Congratulations, you're now Division 8. You are going to be joining Division 8. Hira, you're going to be joining Division 8. So that means that this group... Hold on. Oh, you shifted, didn't you? You're no longer Division 8, now you're Division 7. You're part of Division 7? Ah. Karatsu, I want you out of this group. So it's going to be these guys. The Hitonose. There. That's better. We have another DD. You can also join Div 7. Oh, sorry, not a DD, a TB, torpedo boat. Then we have Tomozuru, Shiratake, Tsubame, and Shirakami. This seems to be one division. I quite like that. That makes it manageable. Torpedo boats, Sagi. Hold on, who are these? Okay, they're all in a line. That's really good. And then we have Tatara, Karatsu, and Yodohashi. What group are you? You're Division 6. Okay, you can join Division 6. Yep, just like that. And you can also join Division 6. Right. So, I now have 2 heavy cruisers, followed by 4 light cruisers. 1 line of torpedo boats. Another line of torpedo boats, which are currently tailing along with the heavy cruisers. I can get behind that. Literally and figuratively. We have this battle line led by the torpedo boat Okinawa. They're going to spot the enemy. Then the Hitonosis group, which still sort of has to line up. It's going to slow them down a touch. And then another battle line, which are also going to try and charge in. The heavy cruisers are also going to turn to the north. The light cruisers... how fast are these? 24.5? 21. Oh, that is not good. That means that the heavy cruisers are faster, so I'd have to slow them down. Let's just say I want them at 20 knots. And I want you guys also operating at 20 knots. There. I want you to follow the heavy cruisers, but that's something that the Sagi group is also going to do. This is just going to be a mess. Let's see how it goes. I might at some point, depending on when and where, hand off group control to an AI. I'm just not really sure when yet. Oh, and by the way, some of these designs are not mine. I designed, what was it, 14, 15 torpedo boats? But some of them were already in existence. The real challenge is going to be to figure out which ones. Here. Shirakami has a 4-inch gun. She has a couple of 3s, one single 2, and one torpedo launcher in the bow and the stern. She can do 33 knots, so at least she won't be faster or slower than the rest of the group. At least not by a significant margin. That's good. Alright, show me the enemy. Show me the enemy. And tell the Kamchatka that we're actually coming this time. Or not, I mean... I think they've lost most, if not all, of their credibility at this point. I want to try a line abreast, so ships side by side. Here too. Line abreast, formation normal. I normally don't use formation abreast, but in this case it could actually be quite handy. The heavy cruisers are going to maintain their formation stern, aka ahead. Over here we have a bit of a mess going on, but that's alright. Now my spotting capability is probably dreadful. That is one thing that I'm going to have to live with. Because my best spotter is my... no, not my destroyer, my heavy cruiser. It has the highest tower, and from there it can spot. But radar has not been invented. We do have a pretty decent coincidence rangefinder here. That's nice. So, Okinawa. Tell me, where's the enemy? I would not at all be surprised if they're suddenly going to pop up. Because my radar is non-existent. We're just using the Mark 1 eyeball to try and find the fleet. The game is suddenly switching back to ×5 speed instead of ×10, which I was running at. That means that there is usually trouble ahead. Okay, slow down even more. The rest of the guys are not catching up. Div 3, Okinawa to slow. I want you guys to maintain speed. I just want the Okinawa to slow down. Otherwise the rest of them cannot catch up. The torpedo boats here. That's Div 7. Shimushu. Ah, we found the enemy. Oh shit, like I said, right on top of me. Good lord, 4.3? But from the Okinawa, only 3.3. Damn, son. That's really close. Okay, new plan. Full ahead flank, charge directly at the enemy. Identification is not a problem. We know that they're not ours. And there's another ship. Potentially a heavy cruiser. I need to sink the battleships as quickly as possible so that my cruisers have a bit more free reign. As for the torpedo boats, I'm going to pass right through the enemy formation. We're going to pass right through and try and torpedo them. Which means a lot of micromanagement on my part. Now I'm using small, fast ships. Hopefully that'll throw the aim of the enemy off. Unless they haven't spotted me yet. Here. Okinawa spotted. There we go. Now the warship has spotted the Okinawa. No, sorry, the Hitonose. That one. So the light cruiser saw the Hitonose at a range of 1.6. Which means that this battleship is only just now getting aware of the existence of the Okinawa. Oh, that's really good. Charge. Torpedoes are off on this group for now. There's a torpedo boat. I really hope that these guys don't have a lot of bulkheads. I'm going to just flood them out right quick. That's my best bet of getting rid of this group really quickly. 1.1. Torpedo detectability. Plus 10%. Not great, but potentially workable. Torpedo this ship. Okinawa is almost in torpedo range, and the rest of her group is coming in fast. Katada, Hotsu, and Kiji are moving in. Range 1-4. Hitanosa has launched her torpedo. There, the torpedo's away. The torpedoes travel at 29.5. Oh, the Hitanosa is a different build? Oh shit, it's one of those different designs. I was wondering why the torp was so slow. Well, now I know. We have identified the enemy battleships. Or, no, sorry, one of them. They were 6 different classes, I think. This is the Andrei Perzovani. Standard amount of bulkheads. Anti-torpedo blister 1. Let's see how good your anti-torpedo blister is when confronted with a 19-inch torpedo. Torpedo away, port side. One of them anyway. Second torpedo should be going out anytime now. I know I limited the firing arc, but it should be going. The Admiral Lazarev has been fully identified. The battleship detected my torpedo. The second torpedo is now away. Okinawa is going to have to turn really hard to port. Like a maximum turn. There we go. 352. That's a great torp hit. The torpedo boat here does not have the amount of torpedoes that I would really like. Oh shit. Katada got torped. Katada, return torpedoes. These things can surprisingly hold their own, even when torpedoed. There, torpedoes away. From Katada. Target, the enemy torpedo boat. But she missed. No, what? Did the thing not arm? Ooh, one of their battleships is in a really poor state. That thing almost sinks. Next target, the starboard launcher on the Borodino. Few bulkheads, 17,000 tons of warship. Over here we have 17,500. First blood goes to the Russians. Come on. Starboard torpedo 1 away. Let's pause for a second. What's the rest of my group doing? Kiji, that's one of my designs. You're solo. I want you to charge towards the enemy battleship. The Andrei is almost gone. Almost. The rest of the fleet has turned. And that was the plan. I want you guys to start turning there. I want the heavy cruisers and the light cruisers to work together against the torpedo boats. Insofar as we can hit those at this range, which very much remains to be seen. You guys are too far ahead, which means that the Tsubame is going to detach. You're going to turn that way. Sagi group, turn that way, and you can rejoin the Tsubame in formation 12. Formation 12. Okay, turn that way. Now, I'm really hoping that this torpedo is going to land, because Borodino has few bulkheads. She has a torp blister 1. No, I think she's going to survive it. That torpedo is not going to hit Borodino. One of their battleships is done. Come on, get that second torpedo away. Good course correction. Oh, not such a good course correction by the Borodino. Structural damage, massive. Her ammo detonated. 3,338 damage. The Okinawa also got hit. And she got hit by a 6-inch. And that seemingly was enough to immediately cause the death of the Okinawa. Jesus, that battleship though. Oh shit. That thing immediately went down. Instant death. That's nice. That means they only have 4 battleships left. Let's just let it play out for a bit. I really don't think that I'm going to be doing that much damage with my 3-inch guns. Actually, not too bad. 20, 18, 13, 16. Not terrible. The problem with the Hitonosa, however, is that she only has 1 torpedo left. That makes her a bit of a throwaway ship. Because my chances of getting that last torpedo away with the ship surviving are negligible. And even then, you can ask the question, does it even need to survive? On top of that, she's flooding, despite having maximum bulkheads. Hard to port. I hope that the Andrei is going to be dead and sunk by the time that I pass it. And that my torpedoes are reloaded. We also got Shimushu coming in. She is angry and coming in for the Admiral Senyavin. Standard complement of bulkheads. That looked like another ammo detonation on, yep, on the torpedo boat there. Hira, try not to ram. If you don't absolutely have to. Light cruiser Admiral Lazarev tried to torpedo the torpedo boat. Unsuccessfully, I might add. Come on, Hitonose. Slow down a bit. Hira is going to ram. Which probably will sink the enemy torpedo boat, but at the expense of some serious damage to the Hira. That's not what I want to see. Shimushu can now almost torpedo the battleship here. Just get a bit closer, girl. Hitonose has sent her torpedo at the Archangel Gavril. Now, maximum starboard turn. We're going to try and ram the battleship. Because on top of that, that torpedo might just be enough. In the meanwhile, the Kiji sent her torpedoes against the torpedo boat. Causing her to have no ammo left to deal with the light cruiser there. And you guys, Divs 1 and 2, to work over the Admiral Lazarev. She's too much of a menace to my torpedo boats. Kiji, hard to starboard. Archangel Gavril, with her many bulkheads, seems to just shrug off the torpedo hit. And really not give too much into flooding. She's taken a bit of damage, but nowhere near what I would like. The light cruiser is now starting to take damage. Hira is ready with the torpedo. But I don't know if she has a decent arc on it. She does indeed. 2 torpedoes on the way to the Lazarev. Hira can now turn to starboard and hopefully come to starboard and use the port tubes against the battleship. 2 immensely damaging hit against the Lazarev. A torpedo landed against the Admiral Senyavin. They're still trying to do damage. That light cruiser should be toast. Maximum bulkheads though. Try not to hit the Hira. I still want to try and use that ship if you don't mind. Oh, you can only do 6 knots. That's not good enough. Now there's plenty of enemy ships around. But they are dropping pretty quick. That's another battleship and a light cruiser dead. This is why I like the smaller boats. You jump right into the action. It is pretty much suicide range. Because, yes, I have sacrificed a few torpedo boats, but I'm sacrificing torpedo boats of 800 tons to sink a battleship of almost 18,000 tons. So, yes, it's a trade-off, but it's a trade-off that I walk away from with much, much more damage for displacement sunk than they do. Bit of casemate damage to the Archangel Gavril. The Tsubame could now come in and try and torpedo her. Let's select that as a target. When she's ready to go, perfect. Heavy cruisers and light cruisers are coming in, and we still have a lot of torpedo boats left. But I'm not even sure where the rest of their torpedo boats are. Torpedo in the water. Origin, Diana. This is going to come at the expense of this Shimushu. Oof. Yeah, 810 damage. Didn't sink her. But it's not going to be long before she does sink. Because yes, she has maximum bulkheads, but against a torpedo like that, I don't like my odds. The Hitonose seems to be getting ignored by the battleship at this point. She just doesn't care. Engine damage on Diana? How'd that happen? The torpedo boat hit you? And caused damage to your engine? That's pretty impressive. That's a pretty impressive performance for a torpedo boat. Tomozuru, Shirataka. Move towards the enemy. I still have the full health Sokuten coming in. And I intend to go after the Vitiaz light cruiser. Shimushu is... she's alive? I would love to try and torpedo against the Diana, but I think she's out of range. Also, the Sviatoy Alexander is not interested in this fight anymore. The battleship has turned tail and is running away. Few bulkheads. I think I understand why she's running away. Tsubame and Hira might work together to sink the Archangel Gavril. What's the light cruiser working on? The Vitiaz is working on sinking the Shimushu. And as the Sokuten pushes in, she's targeted by the Gaidamak. Oh crap, we got another torpedo boat right here. Secondaries on this torpedo boat, urgent. I just have to rush in towards this ship. Starboard torpedo tubes on that one. Incoming torpedo. Turn away. Your turning circle's probably shit. Ooh. Don't hit me. That was close enough. I'm not going to torpedo that ship, at least not with that one, but I might be able to do it with the Yoko. Because she does carry bow-mounted torpedo tubes. Underwaters, that is. And there goes the Shimushu. She has survived a lot. A hell of a lot. Sokuten is almost in range of the Vitiaz. And... oh, shit, it's a battleship. It's the Apostle Pyotr. Not at all what I was expecting. That means you're not allowed to use the torpedo tube, because I'll need that to sink the battleship. Depending on how well the attack with the Tomozuro goes. Kiji sinks. I now have 2 torpedo attacks happening at the exact same time. And I'm not trusting the AI with either. So I'm just going to have to jump back and forth between a couple of ships. The Yoko is almost running over the torpedo boat here. But she will not turn with a damaged rudder. A torpedo is away from the Tomozuru. I'm not sure if she launched... oh crap, it's one of those different designs. Oh no. No. At least it might... no, it's not going to hit, is it? No, it's going to sail right past the Apostle Pyotr. Oh crap. Do I still have more torpedo boats here? Yes, I got the Shiratake. Sokuten has launched torpedoes and strucken... no, not strucken. It has managed... let me talk my way out of that one. It has managed to hit the Vitiaz. And at the same time, we have a battleship here, the Archangel Gavril, which is getting torpedoed by the Tsubame. There it goes. Archangel Gavril is gone. Well done. Yoko is still tangling with the Scumbria. And in the meanwhile, I'm trying to keep the Tomozuru alive. Do the light cruisers come with torpedo tubes? At all? Alright, listen up. I need you to turn the torpedoes off. You're one of my designs. Light cruisers. Yes, they have torpedo tubes. Mounted. Port starboard, bow and aft. I think I forgot about one torpedo boat group. You. All of you. Hello. Tatara. Get back here. It's not unusual for one of my ships to go off in an entirely different direction because I forget about them. Damn, that light cruiser survived? That sucks. That was not supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen at all. Light cruiser Boyarin with maximum bulkheads. She's going to be a tough nut to sink. I just don't think that the Tomazuro is going to be able to do it, because she just has no access to torpedo launchers yet. She will in a while. Scumbria, fire and flooding. Good damage. Torpedo boat Shirataka is coming in, ready to attack the Apostle Piotr. That was many bulkheads. Scumbria's down. We're all done. Heavy cruiser, target the Boyarin. Lots of fleets management going on. So Kuten seems to still be on a pretty decent path to sinking the light cruiser. I'm going to do a full turn and maintain torpedo lock on the Vitiaz. One torpedo should do it. Now, if my heavy cruisers can take out the Boyarin, then I can ensure the safety of the heavy cruisers by killing off the Apostle Piotr. Torpedo, green. You may launch when ready. I just don't think that 1 or 2 torpedoes are going to do it. Torpedo blister, anti-torp 1. Torpedo away. First launcher. Range, 700 meters out. Boyarin taking some damage, but nothing serious yet. Second torpedo away from Shirataka. She's now getting the full attention of the Apostle Piotr. Every single gun is firing at that ship, or attempting to, but so far it's missed. The Apostle is trying to evade, but unsuccessful. Torpedoes hit, or rather one hits. Takari. I need you to turn this way. A second torpedo slams into the Alexander. Oh, sorry, the Piotr. The Alexander's already dead. Oh. Hold on. Tomazuru is about to get hit by a torpedo. Because I was not expecting the light cruiser, yep, that hurt, to carry torpedo tubes. But she did. And I'm paying a hefty price for it. Now, Shirataka did a great job torpedoing the Apostle Piotr, but she's not dead yet. She's flooding. And I'm hoping to use the Takari to do more flooding damage. Using... Oh, shit. The Takari is a different class. And as such, does not have access to a torpedo launcher. Oh, no. Over here we have another torpedo boat coming in for the attack. Focus on that one. Tomazuru sinks due to heavy flooding. Yeah, that was expected. That was after the run-in with the Boyarin. So Kuten... Oh, she's out of range of the Vitiaz. Not helpful. At least she's turning pretty quick. And making herself a really difficult target. She's also facing light cruiser Oleg. Maximum bulkheads. Right, so the Yoko is going to have to turn around pretty hard and try to torpedo the, I think, dead in the water Apostle Piotr. The Apostle can do 16 knots on a good day. With 2 damaged engines and 3 flooded compartments, she probably cannot do that at all. Come on. This used to be so much easier. Why can I not just fold open the... There we go. 2.6 knots. They still have the Sviatoy Alexander, though. That is something that needs to be addressed. Oh, Sagi got torpedoed, didn't it? Yes. Sagi got torpedoed, which means that the Tsubame is going to have to work over the Drakon. Drakon, at this point, only has 1 torpedo launcher, which they just used. So I'll just have to torpedo the torpedo boat. Oh, crap. Oh, no. Detach. Turn. Angles are not great, but maybe good enough. I need to keep an eye on the Yoko, though. Ow. Shirataka taking a pretty hefty beating here. There we go. That's the light cruiser dead. Takati, don't try and ram the Apostle. We have different ways of sinking that ship, and it's coming in a hurry. The Yoko. Well, maybe not that much of a hurry at 20 knots. But for this day and age, it's probably relatively fast. Apostle Pyotr has cancelled the flooding. I just don't think they're capable of hosing that much. Yeah, they don't have a pumping system yet. Which means that this ship is now capable of torpedoing the sitting duck of a battleship right there. Something else struck. A torpedo hits the light cruiser. The Oleg has taken a hit from the Sakuten. And the Vityaz. The Vityaz also took out a... Yep. Vityaz is down. Oleg did not get hit by a torpedo. Because the Sakuten was focused on the Vityaz, of course. Now, the Sakuten just has to do one more trick, and that's to torpedo the Zemchug. And hopefully I can take one out there. This light cruiser needs to go. It is once again the Diana. Where's that last surviving battleship? Over there. Crap. Is this ship going... There we go. That's the Rakonded. That's one of the torpedo boats that went on a rampage and torpedoed one of my ships. Do not torpedo. The torpedo is already on the way. Slams into the ship. Opens up 2 more compartments. The Apostle should be dead. Alright, light cruisers and heavy cruisers. I want you guys over there. That's where the fight is. The Apostle Pyotr is getting fired at from every which way. Shirakami. Torpedoes are away. Apostle Pyotr sinks. Maximum bulkheads on the Diana. The ship has already caused a lot of damage, and it's now time for her to start taking some damage in return. I need to do a full port turn to bring the port torpedo launchers to bear against the enemy ship. Against the Diana. She's going to be slowing down. She's going to be slow if she doesn't flood outright, but I don't expect that she will. We still got the torpedo boat Lastochka. Not launched her torps yet. How many light cruisers do they still have alive? Oh shit, the Zemchuk is still here. Oh. Not for much longer by the looks of it. Seeing as she just got her ammo detonated. Wait, what? Did I win? I won! Okay. In that melee, I sunk so many ships that I got to my, what was it, 70% quota? Yeah, 70% quota. Whew. That was intense. That was nice. And that was really fun. This is why I love torpedo boats. They're old. They're usually not particularly quick, but they're so small that they're very hard to target. So, the conflict in the Tsushima Strait once again gets decided in the favor of the Japanese. And ironically, it is the torpedo boats that did it. Maybe the Kamchatka was right all along. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Join me tomorrow for Taskmaster Tuesday, and I shall see you guys then. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.